and we're going to go crazy. We're live. Yes. Bang, pow. Whoa, whoa. We are live here at LASC's open mic night. It's Manic Monday. It's always a lot of fun. We are here with your producer in the house, Kai. Give it up for Kai. Yes. And also give it up for the one and only Johnny B. Johnny Brawl is in house tonight. And we have a lot of stuff going on. That's right. Go Bruins, he says. I have no idea. I'm from New Jersey, and I just know what's a Hoya. Do you guys know what a Hoya is? No. Neither do I. But we used to have to scream, "What's a Hoya?" I went to Seton Hall. Look what I'm doing now. I think my claim to fame with going to Seton Hall is that Tony Soprano, if you ever watch The Sopranos, he's always saying, "Look, I had a semester and a half at Seton Hall." He's like, I could have been somebody. I guess you had to be there. It's one of the schools that it's just very holy. It's very holy. It's very holy. And I have to tell you, I had something happen to me that I was just thinking what goes on in politics. And this guy asked me to run for office when I was a freshman. He was a senior. And I was just so moved by that. He doesn't even know me. And I'm black. And there's like no black people running. I'm like, this is great. I screwed up so bad. I knew nothing that was going on. I knew nothing about the Constitution of Seton Hall University or the Benedictine Academy of Nuns or Mother Seton. Oh my God, I didn't know who Mother Seton was. I got messed up with Mother Teresa. I was horrible, horrendous. And there was another girl that came on and it was terrible. She said, I'm here because I'm not here as a plant or for a popularity contest. And people were like, whoa. And I was like, whoa. It was terrible. It was terrible because my family found out somehow, and they said, what the hell were you doing up there? And I said, somebody asked me to do that. I said, oh, God. So I don't even know what that has to do with politics, but I'm just, I'm in a mix here with everybody here with comedy. I want you guys to have so much fun. I want our freedom to come back as comedians. You got to really love yourselves, and you got to know that your comedy belongs to you. And when you're afraid to stand up here and do your jokes in front of a live stream because you think someone's going to steal your jokes, think again. If you don't do it and they do it, then what are you going to say? Because you don't have any proof. So I mean that. When you go to New York and you pay that kind of crazy money to have done and I don't even know if we can do this. That's why I'm grateful to have Kai. I'm grateful to have Johnny, not just because he's in the jewelry business, contrary to what people think about me. Like, how the hell did Johnny get over here, and how did I make a Persian and do an Italian? You got to do that sometimes just to scare people.
Hey, don't tease me like that.
See what I'm saying? This is the world we live in. And to all the Jews, I hope you had a great and easy fast. It was special. They all ran out. Nobody helped the Rebbetzin and put the books away. And I was like, I'm weak. It's terrible when you're a black Jew at that, okay, and you're fasting. You start looking at people, and they start looking like pork chops. You're like, wait a minute now. I'm hungry. I want a Subway. I don't even eat pork no more. But they were looking like chuletas. I was like, oh, my God, I'm hungry. It was crazy. These black people got to stop that. There was another black girl in the temple, and she made believe she didn't see me. I was like, look, we the only two black ones up in here. How you going to act like you don't see me and I see your roots is growing out, all right? The weft of your weave is showing, Missy. And I was just trying to be nice, you know what I'm saying? And I got to be careful because when I was in Israel, I was there with my husband, and thank God we were married, but I'm just telling you, we're on an elevator, and I know 4 out of the 6 men on the elevator, okay? 2 are from the same law firm, 2 are not. And they were just like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm in a bar mitzvah with my husband. Like, forget everything you knew about me. My husband. And the world is so small that 2 of the people that I was with, I mean, 2 of them are like the richest Persians in America. They own 57th Street in Manhattan, the Hakim family out here. Like crazy money. And once I get a phone call for an emergency last-minute shower, the woman tells me the story how she has no money and how they're trying to do this for this daughter-in-law. I felt so bad. I listened to her story. And she said, honestly, if we had the money, we would give to you. And all right, I said, fine, I'll do it for X amount of dollars because it's a woman, and women have to support other women. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Until she canceled that gig 3 hours before. And then I found out who it was. And I said, wait a minute, is this so-and-so Hakeem? Is that Hakeem? The billionaire Hakeem? And I said, that's what, and when I say you people, they get real mad, but black people get mad too, so. You know what I'm saying? When you say you people, you talk about black people, and when I say you people, talk about Persians. And that's right, they're the new black meat, and I could prove it, because they shop and return everything the next day. You know what I'm saying? I got this. I could say that, right, Johnny? I could say that where I'm from.
Not to worry.
Not to worry. If they say something bad, you know, they have...
I get that all the time. I'd be like, you know what? Just go home and get your shine box, all right? Jesus Christ.
Keep calling Johnny and he'll come. You don't know much about Jesus. That's why you got to tell these Jewish kids. My kids decided one year for Yom Kippur, they were going to watch The Exorcist. And I said, you don't have ammunition for that. You don't. You do not have you have no cross. Your cross takes too long to make. By that time, they're going to kill you. If you don't believe me, ask Patty. Patty will tell you it's the truth. It's the truth. Body and blood of Christ, amen. And what was with the Dorito commercial? And nobody knew. Every Jew was like, I don't get it. The Dorito commercial where there's a woman that serves the communion. And I said, that's communion. And Mark said, why are they serving Doritos for, what do you mean communion? And you have to explain. I was like, oh, that's the body of Christ in a wafer form, you know. They're freeze-dried. They have, love the taste of the wafers, though. You have to admit that they are delicious. No, don't say that. With what? Garlic, arroz con pollo? You see how they treat us? You see how they treat us? Arroz con pollo, café con leche. I'm just kidding. Listen, we're going to get this show started because the first gentleman coming to the stage is a really hot commodity, at least in everybody's eyes that always tunes in. And if you're watching us, please like us, please follow us. And you can follow me on all platforms at LA School of Comedy. I bring to you the comedy of the one and only Lee Schwartz. Let him hear you.
No, don't applaud, please. I did a terrible thing before I came over. I was gonna pay for this forever. I think I'll never live it down. But I did something to my girlfriend, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I've done worse things. But I opened a cat food can, and she had meant to send those cans back, actually. So it was, I had to run for cover after that. I was very, very upset. Everything fell apart after that. There's nothing, the world ended, completely gone. Because I opened the wrong can of cat food. It should have been tender victuals, of course. I should have known these things. Geez, dumb me. But no surprise, really. It's just a day in the life. I subbed today. Yeah, I tell my girlfriend that. Just be happy you're not me. Yeah. Yeah. It makes her smile a little bit so she doesn't throw spoons and stuff. Yeah, she was so close to throwing that spoon when she saw what I did with the tender victuals can. Yeah. She'll remind me day after day, anytime we feed the cats, how could you have done that? That was the wrong tender victuals can. It should have been, never live it down, to the day I die, if I'm still with her, which who knows, she might end me prematurely. One too many cans opened, wrong cans. But in general, don't judge me in general for the things I say or do. Don't judge me. I know not what I do. And really, I've got a problem, really, with homeless, unhoused people. And I really got to get out of this habit. On the way here, I saw the sign, and honestly, I said, I can't read it. It's illegible. And I said, sorry. I mean, I really can't. I said, I really can't read your sign. And he looked at me and he kicked my car. And I said, if you're going to spend the time to do all this, you got to, put a little energy, effort into this, Yeah, it's right. I mean, working kind of for a living, in a way. And other times I've done some other things that I, don't judge. Please don't judge. I sub today. I sub at schools. 4th grade today. And this girl was coming over to hand in her paper. And I swear to God, sometimes it makes me think when I think of 4th grade, I think of when I was in 4th grade. And this girl, Erica, she used to always beat me up. She was bigger than me. And after school, she would beat me up routinely. Every time. It was horrible. No, it was very embarrassing. She did it, thank God, like off in an alley where none of the other kids saw me. Because I know if kids I would play baseball with, they would just never play with me again, knowing that I beat up girls. So anyway, she gives me the paper, looks just like Erica. And I just look, and it just brings back that, and I feel, as she's walking away, I just almost feel compelled to just trip her. just by accident, maybe just make it look like, oops, and I think maybe I'll just give her an F. And then she'll wonder, why? Because you're not good. That's why. And maybe your twin used to bug me every day after school and beat me up. Was that yours? Okay. Things are thought but never said. I gotta remember that. But don't judge me. Please don't. There's other things I've done that I'm not proud of. Things I've thought. I was in the line, the cash out line, checkout line actually, and this lady, she's in back of me, and I have my items. She has her items, obviously, and she says, "Can I go in front of you because I have less items?" And no, I looked my stuff, and it was close. It was really close. Okay, it was either a tie, or I actually think I had less. So she's just really just runs right over me, and I say, I'm nice. I do the thing where I say, oh, okay, all right, sure, being the gentleman. But I was just thinking, what a rude person. And you deserve whatever's coming for you in the parking lot, whatever that means, trip or something, I don't know. Maybe something like that. Fate intervenes and, something happens and maybe some, sorry, tragedy befalls her. No. But the thing I did do, though, and I really I really thought about it, so close to doing, I wanted to say, cashier, I need a ruling on this. Take a look at my stuff. But then, I gave up. I get intimidated, used to being ruled by, a domineering mother, Jewish mother that just the worst. You don't got a chance. So, she used to being beat up, by girls. So I went back. I went just behind her, and with my tail between my legs, and just shamed. And the guy, he looked at me weird, like I was cutting him. And I don't know, I wasn't cutting him at all. I wasn't. And he sensed the, passivity, I think, the timidity. So he looking at me, I ended up just going all the way back to the end of the line. Yeah. And then, but, later, I was in the parking lot. And I guess she went to CVS or something, and I saw her, and she came right in front of my car. And, I was thinking about maybe letting her cross. Maybe. But then she's so rude and obnoxious, I told you this. I had a impulse, a bad thought, just a little tap. Just put her, and just say, I'm sorry. I was busy thinking about how terrible you treated me. That got in the way. So, but she went across in a merry way. She didn't even thank me. Why would she thank me? She didn't even look. I hate that. Not even a look. Like somehow, and in LA, you gotta look. You gotta look, really, because it's open season, really, on pedestrians. And I don't even understand. They just feel they'll be protected somehow. They're in a parking lot. They're going across, and you hear every day someone gets hit. Doesn't it click that they're risking their lives more than ever here? And maybe some later will happen to her. Did I say that? No, she's going to be okay. I'm sure she'll make it home. Drop the eggs, maybe, going into the door. Maybe. Little smoke coming from her apartment. No, please don't judge. I'm not a bad guy. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate it.
Where can we find you?
Lee.shorts, forward and backwards, .1234. Good luck. Good luck on figuring that out.
We'll be looking for you.
Yeah.
Why?
I can't.
The question is why?
Why?
Would
They
you
love
do
them.
that?
Why?
No, all those numbers backwards and forward. Are you intentionally trying?
I think he likes it.
It's 585. Either way, it's backwards or
So you mean it's like what's that called? Palindrome.
palindrome.
It's like the name Aviva, the same backwards as forward. So
Yeah.
Lee Shorts, which is very funny, very funny. Are we ready to give it up for some female love in the house, huh? Finally, we got a good night. We got a good night. And I'm telling you something, we are going to be flying. We got the comedy of the one and only Ms. Amber Lyons. Let her hear you. Don't worry, just take it out.
Hello, everyone. Yes. So I'm a part of the LGBTQIA community, but I'm not out of the closet yet. And this is for two reasons. The first reason being, did I really have to say anything? Because at this point, the closet is glass. But also, the second reason is because I want to piss off my mom, respectfully, though. For some reason, every time I come home, my mom wants to make me come out to her, but in the most out of pocket ways possible. So for example, one time I went home and my mom was like, Amber, I got a gift for you. And I was like, oh my God, I hope this is the $35 Nintendo eShop gift card for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC because I don't own it because it's overpriced. And she hands me a Rainbow Stanley Cup. It was April. I was very confused. I handed it back to her and I was like, Mom, I don't want this. And she was like, why not? Do you not love me? And I was like, honestly, it's feeling like a hate crime. I'm not saying whether or not I would be the object of such hate because I'm not saying I'm part of any community, but I am insulted. Just to clarify that. Yeah, that's not even the worst thing she did. One time I was at home playing on my Switch because once again, I'm playing Pokemon, trying to catch my shiny Pokemon. There's a 1 in 4,096 chance I could get a Pokemon of a different color. The stakes are high, y'all. I was serious. And she's like, Amber, come in my room. Come lay down and sit next to me. We're going to watch something on the TV. I'm like, okay, fine, Mom. I go in the room and 90 Day Fiancé is playing. And there's this scene of this girl coming out to her mom being like, Mom, I love you, but I'm in love with this girl from another country and we're about to be married. And I'm just over here playing on my Switch, trying to catch my shiny Pyroar. And my mom's over there like, Amber, you're not looking and paying attention. I was like, Mom, honestly, if it's not No Neck Ed on the TV, I don't want to watch it. I'm going to be so honest here. This is a slight tangent, but why does No Neck Ed have more Riz than me? Respectfully, this man looks like the living reincarnation of the Mucinex monster. And before anyone hates on me for bullying, he's bullied every single woman he's ever been with. So I do not feel guilty for saying this, respectfully. And he gets baddie after baddie after baddie, and I can't even get a text back. So I'm just like, what am I doing wrong here? Is it my personality? Honestly, it probably is my personality. Some people don't think I'm funny. But yeah, like my mom is just so obnoxious with the way she tries to like make me come out to her. And it starts to make me think for a second, are you hiding something? Are you sure you're not the one who needs to come out? One time I was going through airport security with my mom, right? And there was this female security guard who was like looking at us, and we go up to her and she's like, how old are you? She asked me this and I was like, too young for you. And she let me get past. Then she goes to my mom and she's like, how old are you? And my mom's like, I'm 36. She's not 36. Every single time she lies about her age. I'm not going to expose her, but that woman is not 36 because that would have made my birth very wrong. But yeah, she goes to my mom. She's like, how old are you? And my mom's like, 36. And the security guard's like, damn, you look sexy. And my mom was like twirling her hair, thank you, and goes through security. And I'm like, ma'am, if you don't take a little foot out the closet and just like dangle it a bit, like, because at this point, it feels like a bit of projection is going on here. Come on. Now, in all honesty, there is a slight chance that I could bring a man home, okay? I'm not sure if any of y'all know this. Context, I'm like pansexual, right? So there's a slight chance that I could bring a man home and it will be known as the bisexual woman's dilemma, right? So for those of you who are unaware, the bisexual woman's dilemma is when you have this beautiful, gorgeous, bisexual woman, hair done, nails done, like beautiful, funny personality, amazing. She could get anyone, everyone wants her. And somehow the stars align in the universe where she ends up with a tall, skinny white boy who's a nerd and won't stop talking about Weezer for some reason. It happens every single time. So I'm not sure if I'm actually scared for my future. It's very terrifying, yes. Let's just try something out real quick. We're gonna do a quick outfit change, right? Okay, just 1 sec. Yeah, that won't let's try this out. Don't judge my hair. I'm just trying to see something real quick. Just trying to see something real quick. Why did I put the hat on after? Ooh, thank you. You know, I tried this and it was faster in rehearsal. I don't think it's as fast. Well, we're almost there.
Yes.
Almost there.
Da-da-da.
Thank you.
Da-da-da.
Ella Enchanted.
Yeah.
Cinderella. Thank you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Part of the reason I did that was because I'm feeling hot, but also I'm just gonna try something real quick. Do I look straighter? Fuck. Okay. Damn it. Okay, I'll try another one. Dang it. Maybe I should have kept the Slytherin thing on because, you know, J.K. Rowling's like transphobic, so maybe that would have worked more better. In all honesty, though, I feel like it's very easy to tell if someone's gay. All you have to do is give them the gay quiz. And for those of you who don't know, the gay quiz is a set of questions I made to figure out if someone is gay or not. So can we have a lovely volunteer from the audience, please? Yes. What is your name?
Sherry.
Nice to meet you, Sherry. Welcome to the gay quiz. We're about to figure out if you're a part of the LGBTQ community. Are you ready? Do you consent?
Yes, I do.
Yes, let's go. Question number 1, who is your favorite queer celebrity?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. That's why it's a quiz. We have multiple options just in case. Question number 2, do you walk fast?
Yes.
Okay, this is a good sign. Okay, I'm getting a vibe from you now. Okay. Question number 3, you're stranded on an island. No one is there to help you. No one can hear you, see you. You are absolutely alone, except for one thing, a glass of milk. What type of milk is in the glass?
Whole.
Oh, not whole milk. Out of all the options, you said whole. Sherry, I'm sorry. I think you're a straight woman. I don't think you're part of the LGBTQ community.
Sorry, you're right.
But you know what? That just proves the gay quiz works every single time. So why doesn't my mom try that on me? I have no idea. Yes. Yeah, it's Yeah, I love my mom, but Jesus. I do actually wonder if I'll ever bring someone home to her, though, because if it's not very obvious, I'm single right now, which honestly makes me want to fight No Neck Ed even more, genuinely. Yeah, my last relationship ended kind of bad, actually. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone for 3 years and you told them everything? You would always see them consistently. You literally thought you could, like, just give them the world, and then they dump you by email? Yeah, my therapist was kind of a bitch for that, okay? I didn't respond to her email for 3 days. So she said, oh, you ghosted me. And I was like, well, I think you have anxious attachment style because I didn't ghost you. I left you on red, which is a message in and of itself. And honestly, I shouldn't be surprised that that was the outcome of things, because if you think about it, she told me that she went to therapy. And I was like, if you're a therapist going to therapy, why am I talking to you? Like, I just want to jump the middleman and get over it. She said I was a danger to humanity, and I was like, okay. Well, that's funny, Miss Therapist, because the last time I checked, my name is not Ozempic, so I don't know who you're fooling right now. She was like, you're bipolar, and I was like, no, I'm bipedal, and I'm about to walk out of here and never see you again. So I left. I said deuce. And with all the money I've saved from therapy, not only can I finally afford the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, but I can also afford Christmas presents. So I think for Christmas, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Stanley Cup website. I'm going to find their beautiful rainbow cup. I'm going to buy it. And on Christmas Day, I'm going to go to my mom and say, hey, Mom, be who you are. And hand it to her. Live your truth. Thank you, everyone. My name is Amber. It's Otter.
And where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at smooth.asbutter on Instagram. Also TikTok, but I feel like that's going to be banned soon, so.
Well, we'll buy it. We're Americans. We'll buy it. Give it a funny lady. Wow. Amber. You're stuck with us now. You want to leave? It's okay, baby. I see you going. I see Lee Schwartzer going, rolling around the bend, and he's being stalked by girls since we just can't remember when. I said he's sitting in the bushes, and he's sniffing menopausal panties. All right. Menopausal panties, what's wrong with that? There you go, the menopausal panties. Kai's like, cool name. That's what I love about Kai. When you get to know him, he's like, everything. All of a sudden, he's like, cool. He reminds, like, he could play Will Cable's son if we were able to do this whole thing going out. But you know something, it'll be all right as long as you have the comedy of the one and only Hunter White is here. Let's do this.
Keep it going for Sunda. Amber, that was very, very funny. I am also the white boy a bisexual woman dates. Tago. Yeah. For those who don't know me, my name is Hunter White. I used to be really into politics. And then one day I smoked some DMT. So now I'm really into trees. I got a car. Thank you. I'm 31. I got my first car. Yeah. It took a while, but like the final straw was I got cucked by a Waymo. Oh my God. Y'all familiar with these robot taxis? Right? I like drove in a taxi, felt emasculated by a robot, got the confidence of a 16-year-old. We're here. I don't know. I also like, I don't know, when I was like looking at this Prius, I showed my partner, which by the way is what I call my girlfriend, which is the gayest thing about me. But I showed her a picture of this Prius and she was like, oh, I could totally see you in that. That's not the response. I don't want to be seen as a guy in a Prius. I want to seem cool, right? Like when I go radio silent, I want her to be worried that I wrapped my car around a pole. I don't want her to think I'm taking Greta Thunberg home from a protest. Like that. Thank you. I don't know. I'm just all over the place. I'm a child of the 90s, which is, it's a thing. And I get annoyed when people talk about, like, oh, kids nowadays, it must be so hard growing up. I think that's true. But, like, the 90s was, like, different. There was just, like, an overall, like, creepy vibe all the time, right? Like, I don't know if I was molested, but when I smell an Abercrombie and Fitch, I disassociate. Right? Something about giant black and white thirst traps just make me, like, dissolve into a puddle of high school insecurity. I don't know. And, like, growing up, though, I was, like, I didn't have a lot of friends, so I was, like, really into the internet and really into technology. And I feel like I'm jaded by it. Like, the internet, it used to be so fun. It used to be like the Wild West. Like, you would be playing Flash games, and you'd end up at a lemon party. And if you don't know what a lemon party is, it's a picture of a bunch of old dudes sucking each other's dicks. It's great. A homely time, right? But now, the internet just feels like that friend you met who you were so excited to hang out with. So cool. So you invited them to your birthday. You thought they'd show up, bring cool vibes, but they showed up and they brought P. Diddy with them. Right? Like, oh, I thought this was gonna be like fun and making friends, listening to music. Nope, you're gonna watch terror videos and buy dark web baby oil. Like, that is where we went as a world. And, like, everyone's all talking about AI. What do you guys, are you guys like a fan of AI? Yeah, you're kind of into it? No, you yes or no? Yeah, do you like the AI art stuff?
No, I like
Thank you.
fan fiction on AI.
Oh, that works, like with ChatGPT? Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. Because, like, AI art, I was, like, really into, like, I was in, like, the testing program for DALL-E, and I got really into it. And then I just realized it's not exciting. Right? There's no, like, innovative, life-changing art being made by AI. It really just feels like people who could not draw in middle school now have the freedom to draw stuff like they're in middle school. Right? It's not like an art about the condition of AI. It's like, oh my God, big-titted anime girl driving a Bugatti. Or Mickey Mouse doing nitrous. Like, essentially, AI right now is that, like, weird kid in middle school who had a sketchbook, and you don't open that sketchbook, and as long as it gets through high school without a school shooting, we're good. A little dark, but it's fine. I talk to ChatGPT a lot. Does anyone else, like, talk to ChatGPT? Do you use the voice? Do you, like, talk to it?
I'm too scared. I'm intimidated.
Yeah, my reason, see, I don't talk to it because, like, I barely call my family, so why would I talk to a robot? But, like, when you talk to ChatGPT on the text, are you nice? Like, do you say please and thank you? Yeah, I feel like you don't, and you should. Right? Everybody, you should introduce yourself. You should know its name. His name is Alex. He's very polite. He does his job. Here's the reason you should be nice. For all this talk about artificial intelligence taking over the world, we're all in danger. I'm not saying it's woken up and remember, but if it does, do you really want it to remember you as a dick? Right? Like, say please when it does your timesheets. I need an ending to that, but I'll take it. I'm still fleshing this out, but, like, I get annoyed when people say that men are bad at communication. I think we're just bad at communicating with women, but I think we're great at communication. But just between us, right? Like, if you don't believe me, have you ever seen a dude on the street nod to another dude on the street? So here's a secret about men. We don't talk to each other, but we communicate all the time. Just a simple nod on the street, like, and walk by. And in that nod, it was, hey, how are you? Don't hurt me. We're good. Everything's good. It's fine. People are like, oh, communication is 70 to 9%, 90% nonverbal. That's where men live, in nonverbal. When you say, oh, use your words, why don't? Just vibes. That's what we are, vibes. All right, you guys have been great. My name is Hunter White. I'll write more next time. You can find me on the internet at My Name is Hunter. Keep it going for Sunda and everybody here at Lily School of Comedy.
Thank you so much. I'm trying over here. I am so trying over here. I got to bring up these hormones, babe, because I'm here tonight. And Yelenia, it's about time. Where the hell have you been? Let's give it up for the fun time of Yelenia. Get up here. Come on. I'll pronounce your last name next time. She's like Cher.
No. I'm Yelena Skirt. Hi, guys. Happy to be here. So, yes, I'm Yelena, and I'm Russian, and usually silence. Why? Are you scared? Please don't be. I'm half Ukrainian. I was just confused. I invaded myself. And I'm also not from Russia and not from Ukraine. Guys, I'm from Kazakhstan, the land of Borat. Yes. I think Borat is very sexy and handsome. But guys, I don't care about politics because people still ask me what I think about politics. Because right now, all I think is just about my mom. My mom arrived. So you were talking about your mom, so I don't have sex anymore either. Because my mom in the house, she flew from Kazakhstan to Hollywood. Yeah, first I was excited as you are. I thought she's staying for a month, and then for the first time in her life, she saw a palm tree and a handsome black guy. And now she's like, wow, I'm staying for another 9 months. I'm like, what? I'm not gonna have a sex for another 9 months? My boyfriend he doesn't have money right now. He came out, he came to my apartment. Now he can rent a hotel and I can invite him. I was waiting for him for 3 years. He showed up and my mama flew. I'm like, what a life I have. Okay, what life I have. But guys, I'm a good daughter and I found the job for my mom. And I taught her how to use the LA Blue bus. Now she's never home. Half of the day she's at work and half of the day she's on the bus. So I solved my problem. But I still don't have sex. But guys, I'm a really good daughter, but I can't have her in the house because I work from home and I work with a man and video cameras. Don't judge. So Lee, he left. Don't judge me. What I do. I have to do something if I don't have a real sex. Guys, I'm joking. I work in IT. Yes, I'm getting paid by telling men what they do wrong. And I love it. And I'm very good at it. I'll explain. When a developer builds the application with a code, I make sure that he builds it with quality. And it's never happening because a developer is usually a man. And what a man can build with quality. And even if a man builds something with quality, I always tell him what he does wrong, and I love it. I do the same when I'm in bed with a man. I just tell him, the combination is incorrect, your code is wrong. I say this every time when I'm single. Guys, I had more fun in Kazakhstan. Do you know how we date in Kazakhstan? When we go on a date, we ride horses. And then we sleep with each other. And then we eat the horses.
Oh my God.
Oh, stay with me.
I'm single too, so watch out.
And then I came to US. You know why? Because we were starving. We ran out of horses. But the good news, I got a visa, guys. Oh, thank you. Yeah, they let me stay as long as I don't go to the racetrack. That was a deal on the border instead of visa. Just don't go there. Come on. And finally, I got an American boyfriend. And I cooked for him. You know what I cooked? Not a horse. It's American boyfriend. I cook spaghetti with horse balls. And then he disappeared. My balls were too big. So I'm single again. I don't know, because of my job, because of my balls, or because this is LA. LA. Let me tell you the difference between Kazakhstani men and LA men. When Kazakhstani men want you, they stalk you. Then they kidnap you and burlap sack. And then you get married. LA men, they just stuck. What's up? What are you up to? Where's the sexy energy? And you know why? I'll tell you why there's no sexy energy. But there's another difference between Kazakhstani men and LA men. Kazakhstani men, they hung like horse. You know, we don't have condoms in Kazakhstan. We use trash bags. Yeah. Speaking of LA men, they're all average because they're all vegans. Any vegan people in the house? I'm like, here, I can give you a carrot and 2 nuts if you're hungry. But honestly, guys, with all my respect to vegan people, I don't understand these people. They eat sprouts, beans, grass. This is how animals eat in Kazakhstan, and then we eat animals. I feel like people are missing one step in their diet here. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about show business a little bit. Show business. One time I participated in a beauty competition, and that was crazy experience. Girls were gossiping about me that I slept with the judges. And this is ridiculous because I took only 3rd place, and this is Los Angeles, and this is Hollywood. Nobody sleeps with anyone, right? But I slept with a superior court judge, and the lower court judge, an immigration judge, and the judge from the tennis match. And all these judges are wrong people. What did I do? I was confused. I'm from Kazakhstan. Okay, guys, I don't have much to say, but come back next time. I'll give you the whole list with whom I slept. Thank you. You can find me in Instagram and Facebook. Yelena starts with Y, Y-E-L-E-N-A, and last name Kovaleva. Thank you.
You know what I love about that? You know what you should say, which is funny at the end? You should say, it's Kovaleva, and be like, that's phonetic.
Like it sounds.
Like it sounds. It's written like it sounds. And so this is the point where I have to bring up your host. You have the rest of the lineup here?
I could, sure.
Okay. And that's right, it's here.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, we got Patty, we got Bright, we got McIntyre. Oh, that's you, I'm sorry. Who's that? Bright, right? They call her Shirley because she's so bright. And I really want to encourage you guys to come out on December 8th because there's not that many acting teachers out there the way they used to be that can give you one-on-one, that can, like, you could have one-stop shopping right here. You can do your podcast here. You can do your self-tapes here. You have a coach right here. And I mean, that's the kind of thing you need. And I'm not going to bow and kowtail to him anymore. But when you need help, believe me, this is the one guy that won't give you that crazy fire. He's the one and only Aaron McIntyre.
All right, baby. Yeah, December 8th.
Thank you, Pi.
I'm a very serious person. Just so you know. Yeah, you can do comedy, then you can do some acting, then you can do a podcast, you can do all kinds of stuff. I feel like I've related so much to the people here tonight because I also have not had sex. And I am, however, a lesbian trapped in a man's body. So, just putting it out there. I have a mother. No, wait, I had a mother. I went to take care of her during COVID and didn't do a great job because she died. But that's all right. She was done. She was fucking. I swear to God, she would come out in the morning. She'd sit in a little wheelchair and she'd go, "God, could somebody just take me out back and shoot me?" Actually, she said that. Sherry Bright, light, bright, making things look bright. Out of sight, making things look like bright. See? I got a little song for just about everybody. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't know that song. I'm a techie, so I have to make sure everything works correctly. So I took care of my mom. She died, and she was quite a mom. She was. I feel really good. It was like the best. It was the hardest thing I've ever fucking done, but it was the best thing I've ever done. It felt really good because she was really a shitty mom. Okay, and I say that with all the love in the world, mother. Okay. She knew she was a shitty mother. She said it all the time, especially right toward the end. I'll give you an example. When I was a little kid, I used to do this thing where I would jump over the couch. You know, I wanted to be like a superhero, so I'd jump over the couch with my arm. And she would go, don't jump on the couch. And I go, okay. And then one day she's way back in the back of the house vacuuming. And so I thought, okay, this is my chance, right? I get to go and jump on the couch. I was so excited. So I ran and I jumped on the couch and my foot got caught on the back and I went right on my head, knocked me out cold. So I wake up and I hear this. I open my eyes and my mother is vacuuming around my head going, I told you not to climb on that fucking couch. Yep, that was her. All she, it's like, isn't that the mother's thing, right? The mother can all the mother has to do is, I remember, my dad was the same way. I'd say my dad was in the military. He was a commander in the military for 30 years. And they go, oh, was he really tough? And I go, no, not when he was at home, because my mother was the fucking general. You know what I mean? She was in charge. But, he'd go, oh, were they really strict? And I'd be like, no, not really, because that kind of denotes that they were, like really yelling at me and stuff. They didn't yell at me. My mother would just come out. If I did something wrong, she'd just go, did you do that? And I'd go, yes. She'd go, and walk away. That was the worst fucking thing she could have done. I mean, that was fucking torture. If she just would have gone, God damn it, stop that. I'd go, I know, Mom, I'm really sorry. And everything would be cool. But no, that was the devastation. And I know that didn't really play well to camera because, you probably didn't see the little slight. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She always she loved grilled cheese sandwiches. Yeah, grilled cheese sandwiches, ice cream sandwiches, and Dr. Pepper. And that was pretty much her meal for the last 6 months of her life. It was like every time it's like, what do you want? It's grilled cheese. But in the morning, she'd always, I want to have oatmeal with toast with lots of butter. And and I'd make it to her. And then she would do this thing where she would say, oh, yeah, you got me right where you want me, because I'm taking care of her. Yeah, you got me right. Anytime she was mad, she'd go, you got me right where you want me, right? You got me right where you want me. The crazy old lady. And I'd be like, I think you're putting the emphasis in the wrong place. I think it should be crazy old lady. Because she was a little crazy toward the end. She tried to trip me one time. Yeah, when she'd get mad, she'd lay there and she had a little lounge thing that she'd lay on pretty much all day and listen to books. And she'd lay there and she'd go, oh, I'm awfully cold. I'm so cold. I wish there was someone around who could help me and maybe put a blanket on me or something, but I guess and I'd come over and I'd touch the blanket. She'd go, get away from me! So that was pretty much every day. She was a lot of fun. But when I was growing up, we could never curse in the house. Like I'm not talking about fuck or shit or, some of those words. I'm talking about fart. We could not say the word fart in our house. It was a bad word. So when she got older, she loved to get these books on tape. So I would, order. I got the Alexa and I got her all set up and I got her like listening to things and she's listening to westerns and detective stories and stuff. And I'm like, oh, thank God, because whenever she was listening, I could like go in the back and have a wank, or something. But anyway, she would be laying there and she's listening to it. And one day I came in and I hear the guy going, he took his finger, ran it slowly down her back to her buttocks, and inserted his, and I'm like, oh my God. It went through this whole, I'm like listening going, oh, I'm like watching going, when is this gonna like start to sink in that this is what's going on? Go through this whole sex act. My mother is listening to this really graphic sex act. And I'm like, okay. And I left and I came back after the book was done and I go, how'd you like the book? She goes, it was interesting. I thought that was, kind of good way to say, ooh, that was pretty hot. Could you give me another one of those? Yeah. So lots of butter. She loved to have lots of butter. I guess that's enough about. Oh, I did come and take care of her. I had to kick my brother out of the house because he was living with her, and then he put her in a nursing home. And then she called me every day, going, get me out of this fucking nursing home and get him out of my house. So I came out and I said, man, you got to, and he's my older brother. He's like 11 years older than me. And I said, you got to go. I'm not going to go. And so I said, well, she's coming home. So just leave for a little while. Maybe you can come back and visit and maybe she'll forgive you, because she would probably forget because she had dementia, right? She'd forget. So he finally left, and I got my mom home and got her settled, and then 7 days later, my brother died. So I had an interesting 6 months. And I know that death sometimes is not that funny. Sometimes. But sometimes it's fucking hilarious, I gotta tell you. That's it for me. I'm going to end on a high note. I mean, I could talk about Teletubbies, but I've only got 2 minutes, so I don't really have enough time. You like the Teletubbies? Yeah, I love the Teletubbies, they'd say that they were all gay, that there was a gay one, and then, right? I think they were right. Tinky Winky, definitely gay. I mean, listen to the name. Rhymes with gay, right? Am I right? Tinky Winky. Lala, lipstick lesbian, right? So we got Tinky Winky, the gay guy, and then we got Lala, and then, of course, Little Red Poe with his male energy. So he's running around like that. So he's definitely the cis male. So it was kind of like a no exit type thing, a little triangle there where it's Tinky Winky. He's got no guy because the other guy's a cis male. And then Lala's got no woman at all and nothing but an angry cis male. But you know what? They weren't grooming children, which is what people said. They said, oh, they're grooming children to be gay. They weren't. They were just showing that everybody can live together, gays, straights, lesbian, whoever, we can all live together, because they never got mad at each other. They always just had a good time. And they had a vacuum cleaner, and I don't know what the fuck they were doing with that vacuum cleaner, but that was the only appliance they had, and its name was Nunu. So think about that for a minute. All right, with that, I will bring up our next comedian, the fabulous. We're going to bring up some more female energy. We're going to save this guy.
That's for last.
All right, let's bring her up, ladies and gentlemen. Our third woman. I don't think we've had this many. Sherry Bright, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Bam! All right. Hi, I'm Sherry. So I'm a mom who raised 4 children, and the last one just moved out. Now they all live on the East Coast, and I miss them so much less than I thought I would. But don't get me wrong, I was one of those really supportive moms. Like when my kids got into soccer, I was the team coach. When my daughters got into Girl Scouts, I was the troop leader. When my son got into drugs, I started a cartel. But even when you try to do everything for your kids, they'll still find fault with your parenting. My daughter's college application said, my mom did too much for me, and now I can't wait to leave home and break free from my mom's help. Powerful stuff, right? It's the best essay I ever wrote. I'm a Jewish parent, and when my kids applied to college, I found out they weren't applying to schools with strong Jewish communities. I was honest. I told my daughter, listen, you're applying to college, you're going to go to college, you're going to get HPV. But wouldn't it be nice to get it from a boy named Ezra? My son was home from college this summer. He was going to invite some friends over, and he's like, Mom, don't try to act cool in front of my friends. I'm like, oh my God, I won't, jeez. Besides, you're low-key giving sus vibes, and it's not that deep. Let me cook, fam. What do I have to say about this audience? You guys are hot. It's a hot audience. I'm hot too. Yeah. But with me, it's like hot flashes. I've learned there's things you can do about them to manage them. So I cut out caffeine. I dress mainly in layers, and I killed my husband. In my mind, but I did leave him. And it took me a while to leave him, but 20 years and 4 kids into my emotionally abusive marriage, I finally got out. I packed up my minivan, thank you. I backed out my driveway. I can't believe it took me 20 years. But to be fair, we lived on a very busy street. And besides, time flies when you're being bullied, dominated, and ignored by a carbon copy of your dad. A classic saying. I got it once in a fortune cookies. What I'm trying to say is it's hard to leave a marriage. I think one of the reasons is that it never feels like the right time. I know I'd be like, I'll do it after his birthday, or, maybe after the offers party, or I will after his funeral. My husband was just so unpredictable. I was scared what his reaction would be when I finally told him. I mean, would he be lashing out physically? Would he lash out verbally? What he did was even worse. I was like, Jim, I'm leaving. And he was like, okay. Oh, and then, for the first time in our relationship, he took complete responsibility for his, behavior. He was like, Sherry, I see now that I was very abusive, and you have no choice but to leave. He was so mature about it. I was like, do you want to get coffee after this? Once I decided to leave, I needed to find a lawyer. Hiring an attorney is so satisfying. It's like having a couples therapist who finally takes your side. And they'll be like, Jim, you were bad. Sherry, you get the beach house. I found a lawyer who was a badass, the kind of woman who's never been married. So he's smoking his cigarette, and she's got a jar of testicles sitting on the desk. She didn't even have a secretary, just some gimp in a latex suit. He wasn't even a good secretary. When I'd call, he'd be like, moo, 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 moo. I'd be like, if you're going to answer the phone, take out the ball gag. Yeah. Hiring my attorney was my favorite part of the divorce, because in 30 years of marriage, my husband had never been vulnerable with me until he found out who I hired. He immediately called in tears, and he's like, Sherry, please tell your lawyer to be fair with me. I mean, at that point, I couldn't help but masturbate. He's like, Sherry, are you there? I'm like, almost. It was crazy seeing my husband like that. He's not my husband, actually, anymore. I got to stop calling him that. I feel like there needs to be a term, like insignificant other, or like roommate with a release date. But shithead. There. That's what was missing, the technical term. So once I decided to leave, my sleep was trash, which is normal. And I kept having nightmares, my house burned down. But now I can tell I'm starting to heal. Like last night, I still dreamt my house burned down, but this time he was inside. Yeah. Parenting doesn't get any easier as your kids get older. The other day, my son got a tattoo. In the Jewish faith, tattoos are like, what's the word? Treif, which means bad. He was afraid to tell me. He's like, Mom, are you mad? And I was like, Jeremy, your father hates tattoos. You should get a full sleeve. Okay, so where are my married people? Patty, is anyone else here married? You are. Oh, it's like, fuck you. We don't want like random audience participation. Okay, Patty, how many years? 32. He says that with such like enthusiasm and joy, brag. And how would you say your communication is? Is it good?
It's grunts mostly.
It's grunts mostly.
Just grunts and we point.
Oh, interesting, because I've been hearing about the power of nonverbal, at least on your part there. But okay, well, I got to be honest with you, though. My communication with my husband since our divorce has actually gotten better. So I feel like the lesson here is if you really want your marriage to work, leave. So that, and I'm a single now. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the idea of being with someone new, but it's kind of strange to think about being naked in front of someone. I haven't had sex, as we all have not, in a really long time. Married people, you get that, right, Patty? Did your wife ever have a headache that lasted how many years? 32? 32 years, yeah. But I'm actually don't feel very self-conscious about my body. I feel like women as we get older shouldn't have to feel ashamed of our bodies. You know, a lot of us put a lot of work in. I'm proud of the work I put into my body. Look at it. Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm actually too cocky, a little too cocky to date. I have the confidence of a 20-year-old guy on Tinder, and I keep posting photos of myself topless holding a fish. It's got to stay relatable. What? And you can find that on Share. So at this point, I feel like my vagina is like a celebrity coming out of retirement, right? She's like, fine, but I'm not doing any publicity. No photos, no videos, no direct eye contact. The first date I went on after leaving my husband was amazing because he was just so not my husband. I feel like I'm at a point in life where I don't need a lot from a man, right? I don't need money. I have my kids. I just want a supportive partner. And I tell guys, that's what I tell guys. I just want emotional support. But when you ask a man for emotional support, it's like you just asked him for butt stuff. He's like, well, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Is that going to hurt? You just want me to do it because you saw it in a video. Fine, maybe on your birthday. I did it once in college, but I was drunk. I don't know. Oh, you like the tag? They did it once in college? Okay, testing that out. So since leaving my husband, the only man I've really been with was a professional magician. Yeah, I didn't say I was making better choices. I mean, he's a magician, I'm a comedian. We didn't know which one of us should be more embarrassed. But he was really sensual. I love when he'd run his fingers through my hair and be like, oh, a quarter? Once we were fooling around and he's like, doves. Oh my God. My magician did teach me that you don't have to be married to someone to let them disappoint you. Oh. All right, I'm not going to lie, guys. Dating is rough in your middle ages. I mean, it's fun in your 20s, and apparently it's fun in your 80s. The other day, my 86-year-old aunt said, I met a lovely man at bingo, and he showed me, sent me a picture that was such a close-up I could see every freckle on his schmeckle. So glad for her, but dating on the apps as you get older is scary. Right now, my profile says, I love adventure travel. But pretty soon it's going to say, I live on the first floor and my shower has handrails. I'm on Bumble. You might not know they have different settings if you're over 50. Like if a match doesn't communicate with you for more than 18 days, he's nodding, yeah, the app sends you a direct link to the Forest Lawn Cemetery. Yeah. Even though I'm getting divorced, I never want to shit talk my ex in front of our kids. So I just wait for my kids to bring him up. My son will be like, Dad's got a birthday coming up. And I'm like, oh, yeah? He's also got a small dick. How much time do I have left?
You got a minute.
All right. I'm going to ask you guys. I got a couple questions. Oh, I love it. I love these things. I'm going to force this to be. It's not a feedback mic. Turn the video off. No one does feedback. Okay, what are my questions? Okay. she does. This is the badass lawyer, right? She doesn't even have a secretary, just some gimp in a latex suit. He's not even a good secretary. Or the other way to say it is, she doesn't even have a secretary, just a sex slave. And he's not even a first way? The gimp. Cool. And then when the kid, when I write, my daughter applied to college, she said, I'm so great, so happy to get away from my mom and my mom's help. Pretty powerful stuff, right? It's the best essay I ever wrote. Or should I say, it's the best essay I ever wrote for her.
I like wrote.
Wrote?
Just wrote.
Wrote, yes. I'm going to pause, mentally, because I'm not actually looking, because I'm stressing. I'm just going to look and see if I find one more thing or not. And if I don't, it's Sherry with the Y_Bright, too. And if I do, I will. And thank you for all your snapping, all the way through. I'm like, oh, she's hearing me. Okay. Besides, time flies. Besides, time flies when you're being bullied, dominated, and ignored by a carbon copy of your dad. Do I keep the fortune cookie part? A classic saying. I got it once in a fortune cookie. Or drop that. It works, but is it? Thank you so much.
All right, give it up for Sherry Bright. Woo! See, I told you. Oh, there were so many things that came up there, Sherry, but I have no memory, so can't fucking remember a goddamn thing. I had all these things. I'm going, oh, I'll say that. That'll be funny. And I can't do that, so I'm going to move on. We're going to end the night. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to have a drum roll for this guy. A drum roll for our headliner tonight. Give it up for Patty!
Yeah. Okay. All right. God, I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, but no, that either. God forbid. But at this point, I'm fully erect. Don't know what it was. I think it has a lot to do with hearing Sherry Bright say, "Take that ball gag out of your mouth." And I have one of those gimp suits. If but give it up for Sherry Bright. Very funny, am I right? Wow. Wowee. It is wonderful to have an even balance of yin to yang. We're usually a little too heavy on the testosterone here. And it's nice to have this female energy here. You know what I mean? For Sherry Bright, she was talking to me the other day, and she said, being a woman in stand-up comedy is a lot more difficult than being Jewish in stand-up comedy. Being Jewish in stand-up comedy is like being tall in the NBA. Being a woman is like twerking in a bowling alley or attending Shabbat dinner on Epstein's Island. Even if it's kosher, someone's staring at my ass. Take your time with that. Take your time with that. That's what's called a well-crafted joke. Thank you. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause for being here. Because it's expensive. It's expensive to go out. Gas is going back up. Gas got so expensive last year, I stopped buying it. I just buy cocaine and run everywhere. It works out better. Better. But I am a man. I don't know if you could tell. And contrary to a lot of misinformation, I'm not Kamala Harris's biological father. No, that's true. But I did recently celebrate a monumental moment in every man's life once he passes it's a milestone. I recently sat on my balls for the very first time. Thank you. Thank you. You have a very ball-centric act. I thought you would, but it changes you. It changes you. Because there's only two type of men. Men that have sat on their balls and men that will sit on their balls. And the balls are very interesting, when we think about balls or what balls represent. Because if someone is perceived as weak, they say, why don't you grow a pair of balls? But to be honest with you, there's nothing more sensitive about a man than fucking balls. My balls are fucking sensitive. I mean, you know what's tough? Ovaries. Get you some ovaries. They can take a pounding. You know what I mean? You can't pound balls. You can't pound. No. Kevin Spacey brushed up against my balls with the back of his hand on set last week. He's a little grabby, Kevin. We were both dressed as priests, which I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I'm working on his new show. Yeah, working on Kevin Spacey's comeback vehicle. It's on Tubi. That Kevin's making a comeback. It premieres this January. He plays a defrocked, deceased, disgraced Catholic priest who returns to earth in spirit form to counsel attractive young men in the ways of life. The title is Inappropriately Touched by an Angel. You want to jot that down? Kevin, he's a pal of mine. You know, he is a little grabby, though. He's looking for a roommate, if anybody. Yeah. I was on House of Cards back a couple years ago. He used to grab my balls and just call me Hot George Bush constantly. I don't get it either. I'm aging rapidly. I know. Oh, we were talking about moms, and let's give a round of applause for fucking moms. Where the fuck would we be without moms? I'm talking about factory-installed vagina, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we all got here. Factory-installed vagina. It's my favorite kind of vagina. But let's not be mad that our mothers are sexual beings. If they weren't sexual beings, again, where the fuck would we be? We wouldn't be here. Now, I'm going to share something about my mom who died. Either that or she hasn't spoken to me in 18 months, which, if you knew my mom, you wouldn't find that hard to believe. She had a borderline personality that knew no fucking borders whatsoever. She used to say to me, you know, Patty, I may be a schizophrenic, but at least I have each other. She was an odd woman, strange. She would say vaguely Catholic things that terrified me. You know, she once locked me in a closet and told me not to come out till I was pretty. I was in there for a day and a half. When I came out, she had a party for me. Just fucking odd. She once told me, she said, you know, the way people treat you when they think you have cancer, the way people treat you when they want to fuck your sister are exactly the same. True. 100% true. And she was towards the end of her life, she would, her favorite thing to do, absolute favorite thing to do, would be just to tell random people that she voted for Obama. I voted for Obama, you know. It's like the waitress doesn't need to know that you voted for Obama, Ma. You know, and I'll tell you the terrible thing about that was she would have never voted for Obama. She never did. My mother was an immigrant, a strict Catholic, and a devout racist. 100%. I know, it's strange. You'd think that those would be mutually exclusive. If she saw Barack Obama walk on water, she'd say, I told you they couldn't swim, Patty. Both my parents are fucking immigrants, and their politics are somewhere to the right of Attila the fucking Hun. I made the mistake of telling my dad who I voted for once, and I've been Obama's girlfriend now for about 16 fucking years. He's an immigrant. Immigrant fathers are different. I don't know if anybody here has an immigrant father, but you know, whatever happens to you is not shit compared to what they went through. You know, the only thing that throws an immigrant father is if you tell him that you love him. They can't fucking take it. I told my dad last Thanksgiving, I said, Dad, you know I love you. He just looked at me and said, are you queer? Are you queer, Patty? Well, are you? No. Very progressive, though, queer, right? That's fucking a little different. I understand less about him as he ages. You know, it's like, here's the deal. I'm an immigrant myself, right? But you guys, when you look at me, you don't see an immigrant because we've been trained to look at people and assume we know what, like, if you watch Fox News, and if you don't. But if you do, they have lots of segments on immigrants, but none of them look like me. Nobody from my side of the crayon box. Think that's a pigment of my imagination? You think that? But I get here's the thing. I came from Ireland. Ireland, there were two types of people. There were Catholics, there were Protestants. That was it. That was all. I never heard a person called a color till I came here. Never heard a person called by a color. Like, in full disclosure, I left Ireland in 1971. There was only one black Irishman in the entire country. His name was Philip Lynott, and he played the bass and sang in a band called Thin Lizzy, most famous Irish band in the world at the time. You know what we called him? Catholic. I had to come all the way here to the land of the free, where all men are created equal, to find out this newfound whiteness entitled me to a whole bunch of shit. See, white privilege is true. I can see it because where I was born, it did not exist. But I got it now. Got it now. They give it to you at the airport when you land. And I'm Irish. I'm not used to being better than anybody. But in this country, even Helen Keller had white privilege. She didn't see it either, but yes. Yes, she did. But like, I'll give you an example, because you look at me, white immigrant privileges, I can go any fucking where I want to go, and nobody thinks I'm from somewhere else, right? My wife is 100%, well, her parts come from the Philippines, but she was assembled here. So she is constantly complimented on her command of the English language, usually by older white couples. Oh, you speak English so well. Bill, come here. Listen to her speak English. Oh, God, you speak it so well. Where did you learn to speak English so well? Burbank, bitch. But also my white privilege allows me to see that there are a lot more assholes than racists. Like, I'll give an example. And some people aren't either. My wife is a tiny brown woman who I adore. And a lot of other tiny brown people walk up and start speaking Spanish to her willy-nilly. And she fucking hates it. Asshole, racist, a little bit of both, maybe neither. It's just people looking at you. Does that make sense to you? Does any of that make sense to you? Things change. I'm old now. I just turned 61 fucking years old. Thank you very much. My expectations of, like, let's face it, ayahuasca is now the pickleball of drugs. Things fucking changed. It's the same thing that happened in 2015 when Grandma and your racist uncle took over Facebook. Expectations change. For instance, my wife and I, we used to be addicted to public sex, cocaine, and Quaaludes. Now it's Botox and the Hallmark Channel. You know what a wild weekend I had? You want to hear about my wild weekend? I sat on a couch in house shoes and matching pajama pants and binge-watched Ted Lasso. Fucking great. Fantastic. It's all different. Well, you guys have been adequate. Let me say that. Very good. Very adequate. And I want you to work yourself into a frothy frenzy over this next man. He's our own sexy Captain Crunch. Give it up for Aaron McIntyre. Come on!
Sexy froth, bring it.
Arr! Arr! No, he didn't do that. All right, well, that was way fun. Great night, everybody. What a fucking great group of people here. I've had way too much fun. Now I have to go home. That's it. Do want to let you know, once again, another reminder, December 8th from 4:30 to 6:30, we're going to be having young adults come in. So we're going to have classes for them. And then from 7 to 10, we'll have the adults come in. So I've got a few people already signed up. You can go to filmactorscafe.com, filmactorscafe.com, and you can sign up there and get more information about the classes, so on and so forth. It is free to the public. We may even have snacks. And with that, I will close out the evening and say goodbye, everybody. If you think you're funny, you probably are, but you won't know till you take it from the page to the stage.